YouTube, what the Caesar's going on? Heir of Carthage here. Of course, replacing Caesar with crap. No harm intended. Just a pun to let you know that Caesar and Gaul has indeed released. It is the 17th of December, last I checked, and it downloaded on Steam, so we are ready to go. You'll notice a nice little loading screen backdrop they have here. It's pretty cool, actually. I like that. So let me explain a few things about this particular expansion. Sorry, just make sure. Yeah. So this particular expansion adds a campaign, which is a standalone campaign, which I believe means that you can actually... Is it a I think it's a standalone expansion. If I'm wrong, they can correct me in the comments. Standalone meaning you don't have to actually own Rome 2 to own this campaign. I could be wrong though, so don't take me at that until I know for sure. Anyway, that's what they've added. You can play it actually really reminds me of the Peninsular campaign in Napoleon Total War as far as its scope and the general idea just from the outset. Now, I haven't played this campaign yet, so I can't give you a review of it in the sense that I know exactly how it's going to play out. I have looked into patch 8 and some of the features that were added. I've read through it, and we'll talk more about it over the next few videos. Also, as I start this, we are going to keep the Carthage campaign going. I will keep the Bactria campaign going. I can keep them all going. I've been putting out, 5 or 6 videos a week. I've got plenty of time to keep all of them going, unless that bothers you, the viewer. If you want me to focus on one or the other, I can. Let me know. In any case, it's my plan now just to keep episodes of them coming interspersed with each other. So let's go back and check out something real quick in Custom Battle. So they've added a few factions to the multiplayer scene of the game, which isn't really going to shake things up too much. They've added the Boii, Galatia, and the Nervii, or I could be pronouncing these wrong, so don't take it exactly the way I say it. They've added those 3 factions, which are basically Arverni again. Nothing that I've seen about any of them that are too particularly special. There's a couple of new units, like these Gallic Hunters. I haven't really looked at their unit info yet, but don't appear to be anything, nothing special there. Not even very long range. Those Celtic Slingers aren't bad for the price, but certainly not good. They have Oathsworn. This one was an interesting unit as Guerrilla Swordsmen, but it doesn't look a lot different than Ambushers. These guys obviously can probably deploy anywhere on the map, which is pretty neat. Again, nothing real special about any of these factions. They're pretty much just Arverni as far as units and stuff. I mean, they've changed just a few things. These sword followers pretty much look like a different version of Libyan infantry, in my opinion, with a little less health. So, nothing wildly different here. It's just adding some barbarian factions. See these Celtic bowmen for 330. That's not bad, actually, for that cost. Those Celtic bowmen could potentially be cost-effective. It's pretty cheap. Like I said, anyway, just wanted to show you these factions. Galatia does have one different unit, which is this Galatian Legionnaire. It's similar to a Roman unit with a little more charge and a little less melee attack. But it does have shield wall, which is interesting. Which the Gauls were pretty fond of using shield walls. In any case, let's kick off a campaign. I always play against Rome. I always bash on Rome. I always try and take down Rome. So I figured I'll play as Rome. I don't think I've ever done a campaign as Rome. So we will get to relive Caesar's feats, hopefully. And when I start this off, before you all get mad at me, just to be fair, there's all this argument going around YouTube right now about copyright and everything else. I don't agree with the way YouTube's doing it. I don't necessarily agree with all these companies and the way they're doing, but just to avoid any particular controversy, I'm not going to show the intro movie that CA's made. I'll leave that for you to go purchase the product yourself, because some people, think that me showing stuff like that isn't right. Again, whether or not I agree with it, I'm just going to do this out of a courtesy. To prove that I'm here to help you all enjoy the videos and to create content that I think you'll enjoy. I'm not here to steal someone else's work or whatever else it is. And that's all I really want to get into that. I don't want to get a whole lot further into it. So yes, I am going to skip the intro screen. There is a pretty neat intro for it. Someone else has probably already put it on YouTube. And I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, so if you really want to see it, you can probably search it up. Or better yet, Creative Assembly probably put it up somewhere or something like that. But I'm going to skip it. It's basically just an intro, kind of explaining into the campaign.
My course of action is clear. The Helvetii must be stopped before they can migrate into Greater Gaul. Their Sequani allies do not concern me, beset as they are by Suebi forces. Although the Germans could become a serious threat if allowed to cross the Rhine en masse. By befriending us, tribes such as the Aedui have drawn the ire of their fellow Gauls. For their own safety, they will submit utterly to Roman protection, as did the Vocontii before them. I will seize our mutual enemies' territories and resources, for the good of Rome and her allies, of course. And by my hand, Gaul will be subdued.
Alright, folks, so here we are, as Julius Caesar. Our first mission, it says all of Gaul is divided. It says completely control 3 provinces. We get a bonus of 2,500. Let's take a look at what's different. Obviously a much smaller campaign map, more focused. Again, very similar looking to the campaign that was on the Peninsular campaign in Napoleon Total War, which I very much liked. The technology tree looks to be new in the sense that it's not organized quite the same. You can see the first thing you have development and politics. And under development, the first thing is farms. Under politics, the first thing is adopt Mark Antony, which is interesting. So I think it's trying to play out more of a personal role here rather than, you know, a long-term type technology tree. It's more of a maybe a positioning and understanding kind of thing as Caesar grows politically. The Gallic Wars, if you all don't know much about it, were Caesar's campaign in Gaul. I believe it started at about 59 or 58 BC. I could be wrong, somewhere in there. And his first struggles, I think, were against Ariovistus, if I said that right. If I didn't, forgive me. He was the king of the Suebi. And then eventually that spread into other conflicts. There was a famous battle of Bracht, or however you say that. And then, of course, all culminated with the siege of Alesia, in which Caesar defeated Vercingetorix. And that ended the Gallic Wars, and effectively Rome finished subduing the Gauls. Also, of course, Ariovistus was defeated by Caesar as well. Caesar was very nearly defeated himself a couple of times too. It was definitely not a flawless campaign, but Caesar proved that he had what it took to, number one, be ambitious, and really consolidate some power. He was ambitious, definitely, and also he proved that he was an excellent siege commander and an excellent commander in general. So it was an interesting time. I can't get a whole lot more into it from a depth standpoint of history because I don't know a whole lot more about it. I have read the Gallic Wars, but I'm not claiming to be an expert on it or to even remember most of it at this point because it's been a while. If you haven't read the Gallic Wars, go out and read it. It's very interesting to read. I wish Hannibal would have had something like that I could have read. Of course, the Romans would have burned it anyway. But here we are. We start out with our legions. This one's called Legio 1 Gallica, which is kind of lame. I'm going to rename this. I don't know if it's historically accurate, but if I remember right, it was Caesar was all crazy about the 10th Legion. So I'm going to rename that one Legio 10 there. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments again. I'm not a history major. I enjoy history as an amateur, so yeah, I don't have time to get too in-depth in it, even though I really do enjoy it. So it looks like we have our base of cities down here, our base of settlements. Let's see. So we own all of Liguria, and we own Insubria as well. We don't have a whole lot of money to start out with, and it looks like, let's take a look at our objectives just to make sure that I understand what it is we need to, oh, whoops, that's diplomacy. Take a look at our objectives real quick, which should be right here. We need to control 3 provinces. Securing the borders, Helvetia. Okay. So I'm guessing that we're going to be marching on Vienna, and it looks like we have some Arverni and other stuff out there. So Vercingetorix was the leader of the Arverni. The Allobroges here, Allobroges, I can't remember if these guys were our allies at the time or not. I honestly don't remember. Let's take a look at the diplomacy, and I don't remember the historicity of it completely. I do remember that the Helvetii were trying to migrate through Roman territory through this area here, and Caesar wouldn't have it, and he went to intercept them, so it makes sense that we're at war with them. Let's see. Yeah, this clan wasn't at war with Rome traditionally. I believe they had already been subdued. I could be wrong about that, though. But let's see if we can get an agreement going with them.
To your offers, but do not wrap them in lies.
Okay, we got a trade agreement going.
Gods, your word hoard is golden truth. I agree with my...
So, should be good there. There's a bunch of other clans here that we're not particularly upset at the moment. Here's one just to the north of us, but they don't too much like us. The Sequani. I'm trying to remember how these guys fit into the whole thing historically, and I honestly can't remember right now, so I apologize. I want to say they kind of got caught in between, but I don't remember exactly. The main ones that I remember are what are these guys? Where'd they go here? I don't see them on the map. Maybe I haven't discovered them yet. The Nervii, something like that. I don't remember what their names are. They were one of the factions that was added. Anyway, Caesar talked about them and talked about how valiantly they fought in one of the battles. Like, basically, these guys fought to the death. They would not give up. They wouldn't drop their weapons. Put up an impressive struggle to the death. Let's go ahead and start building some buildings. We have a military building in Subria. We don't have one in Pollentia, but we probably don't need one in both places. Let's think what will be most useful here. I do have some food. Upgrading this gives me town growth, a little bit of wealth, and food, so I might go ahead and just spend my money on that. Let's go in here to research technology, and the real question is whether we start out with, let's see, land management, which enables, or gives me +3 food and enables a farm, or +2 Imperium. Mark Antony will join our cause. Let's get Mark Antony to join our cause. So that ought to be fun. And as Caesar, let's see, we are at war with the Helvetii, and so let's see if we can take care of them. And if I remember right, let's find out where they're based, just so I get this right. And it may just be an army too, because if I remember right, these guys were just sorry, excuse me. These guys were just migrating. Gives to Sequani. So let's see. The Helvetii are up in this province, Octaduron. So let's go see if we can get up there and take these guys out. That's the Sequani. Alesia. Trying to figure out where these guys are at. Well, maybe they are just an army marching through. I don't really know, to be honest. Well, I mean, it shows... Did I see a red border somewhere? Just trying to get a handle on the campaign map. So we got a red border all through here. Tucurum. Which should mean I'm at war with these... Oh, Octaduron, there they are, right there. And they have a small army out here. So let's go ahead and attack that army. They're going to retreat, because they're a bunch of sorry plebes. And I'm going to continue chasing them down. Supposedly there's seasons and everything here too, so let's see what this says. It says summer, early April of 58 BC. That's cool. I don't remember exactly how much time is per turn, but we'll find out. So it says early April, and so let's end the turn and see what happens. Let's see. You can still issue an edict. My bad. Let's issue the edict in this province here, and I'm going to issue a tax edict because it's kind of my money-winning province there. We have another province down here as well, Narbo Mardius, and we have a commander down here as well, Secundus Regillus. Cool. This looks neat, man. I'm excited about this campaign. I hope you all are too. Let's go ahead and end this turn and see what happens. I can issue one in each province, apparently. So I'll issue a bread and games there. Well, that should handle that. Helvetii bringing an army in behind me. That's probably the same one that ran away from me. We have adopted Mark Antony. It says you have completed technological advancement, giving you an advantage over your rival. So, and that added to our Imperium. Mark Antony adopted, and he's ready to be assigned to command. So we could basically put him in an army if we choose to. I remember that Crassus, I think, led some cavalry for Caesar. Or was that someone else? Man, I forget where all these guys fit into the story. I need to go back and reread it. But let's siege Octaduron. There's not much of a defense here. It looks like they just have a bunch of Celtic tribesmen, Celtic skirmishers, and some slingers. I get to start with some ladders, and I like that it's very Caesar-esque that they gave me some fixed artillery. Caesar used a lot of light ballista and scorpions, so this is pretty cool. In fact, he used them against the Gauls a number of times when the Gauls like to do their whole little shield wall thing. And some of the Gauls, too, if I remember reading it properly, didn't exactly like projectiles other than like javelins. So some of them didn't have a lot of skirmishers, and Caesar would use that against him too. He'd bring in like a lot of auxiliary skirmishers, and they would be bowmen or slingers or whatever else it was. And plus the legionnaires were pretty good about hurling pilla as well. So very interesting stuff. Like I said, if you haven't read the Gallic Wars, you need to go read it. It's an interesting read. So let's wait for good weather so y'all can actually see some of this. I'll try and get you some good views and everything. We have these teensy little ladders here because we're going up against these small walls. Alright, so let's start the deployment. There is a gatehouse right there. I'd like to be able to capture that so that my cav can get in. So what I may do is actually take my ladders right here, where those towers are a little further away. Only one tower can get me. Let's see. I've got some of my Celtic warriors, which obviously representing auxiliaries. You can actually recruit those guys in campaign. Oh, and that's another thing I meant to mention. So there's some changes to the campaign that I think bleed over into Grand Campaign in this patch. And I think that what it does is it actually allows factions to build a building that allows them to levy troops from their subjugated states or their client states or satrapies. And that would be really cool, especially for Carthage, since Carthage was renowned for having, like, you know, multinational type. Oh, I forgot we have these siege weapons. I don't even need those stupid ladders. Let's just actually bring all my guys back over here. So I'm going to bring these guys over here, drop the siege equipment for now, because I don't think I'm going to need it. I'll put my legionnaires here. I'm going to have some of my Celtic warriors up front. The traitors turning against their own people. Got some of this Celtic light horse, which is actually a pretty good unit for the cost. There's only 60 of them, but they have pretty sturdy melee attack and weapon damage and charge for such a cheap unit. Good melee defense as well, too, like a lot of melee defense. They lack armor, but they really have a lot of good stuff for the price. Okay, so let's get our siege equipment. I'm going to take it off fire at will. One of these has a flaming mode. Some of you have wanted to see me use it. I think explosive round is only good against... we got a poison round. I've got to do that just for fun. So let's start the battle. See what, if anything, we got up here. Let's oh, those guys aren't visible, unfortunately. I'd like to chuck a poison round right into the general. But let's go ahead and destroy some fort wall to make a way for my troops to get in. So I got my onagers attacking the wall. Got some pretty good damage on the first shot. Less over here where my ballista didn't hit as well. Just see what happens here. Whoa, we're breaking through that wall fast. This onager appears to be very good at taking out walls, which doesn't surprise me. Ballista, not so impressed with it yet. A little bit better that time.
The walls are breached!
Right, we've got a breach in the wall, so we can begin to take advantage of that, possibly. I think I'm going to make one more breach right here. Actually, might use my ballista to see if I can destroy these towers real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just start walking my guys up this way. I'm going to come up and bring my Celtic skirmishers up to do a little skirmishing. Alright. Yeah, so we got a nice little breach in the wall here. You can see the dead Helvetii there, where the wall was breached. There's about to be more here where this one's going to get breached. Let's see. Got some decent damage going on in that tower. My siege engines don't appear to have a lot of ammo, which is typical for siege engines, but it seems like a little less than usual even. Not sure how much damage I'll even be able to do to that tower. Let's try the explosive round and see if it helps any on that tower. Just out of curiosity, maybe it'll cause fire damage and help burn it down. Okay, here comes my Celtic skirmishers. I'm gonna do a little skirmishing here. It does cause fire damage. May have caused a little more damage. It's hard to tell.
Skirmishers!
Oh, I'm really hoping to breach that wall here in just a moment because I want to.
Legionaries!
I think I hear new music in the background, which is sounding pretty awesome. Actually, really awesome. Maybe it's not new music. I don't remember. Come on, onagers, breach the wall. Really want my onagers to breach that wall. There it goes. Alright, so we've breached the walls. I'm going to redirect some of my skirmisher fire, and I'm going to charge through the breach with these Celtic warriors here.
Warriors!
And let's get my legionnaires out of formation attack before I forget. And we'll just go ahead and begin the attack. You know, I should have brought up some of my Celtic light horse and quickly skirmished inside and taken out some of their skirmishers, but my skirmishers are doing a good job of just kind of keeping these guys busy while we go in. I have noticed a little bit of frame lag every now and then in siege battles recently that it hadn't been there previously. Not really sure what that's about. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad in this video, but it has given me some trouble in some campaigns that I was messing around with the other day. So I got my Celtic warriors in here, going after these Celtic slingers. And my legionnaires are now heading through the walls too. This will make for some epic views, some good Caesar-type views here. Romans penetrating the Celtic city. Alright. Let's engage these Celtic tribesmen. Don't expect much of a fight from these guys. Let's bring in some more legionnaires. And don't really need my skirmishers anymore. Let's bring up my light horse. Bring up Caesar as well. Somehow I accidentally got a hold of my skirmisher unit there. I'm going to pull them back. Okay, I'm going to just engage these guys. There's some Celtic short swords here that are engaging my legionnaires. I'll try and get some up-close views here to finish the battle out. The Celtic general is in this midst. My legionnaires, though, I expect to do better than these short swords. The short swords aren't chomps, but definitely not as good as a legionnaire. They're going to have lower morale, lower armor, but they should still have a pretty sturdy attack.
We have captured a tower.
Got some nice fighting going on here. One of the towers is actually shooting these guys now, or trying to shoot me and hitting some of their own men. Got some of these spears in the fight over here as well. We'll just kind of watch my legionnaires do their business with these guys. Looks like they've finished the battle. Is that some kind of severed? No, it's just a guy going down right here who's been stabbed to death. Saw some severed limbs. Looks like we've defeated the Helvetii there rather decisively, which is not really surprising. They didn't have much of an army, so we put them down relatively quick. Nice nut kick from Caesar there. It's a way to really stick it to the Helvetii. And we're going to occupy the city. And these Helvetii troops that were out in the woods are now going to have nowhere to come home to. But that means that I'm going to have to defeat them in battle. Don't think I have enough money to convert this on this turn. I do not. But we've taken control of Octaduran, which is good. We need to start the research of a new technology. So let's see what else is underneath here. Manipular barracks, that would be nice. Wine trader. Marriage +2 public order, that wouldn't be bad. Is that a cost to research these things? I kind of think it is. Or is it, what is this down here beneath it? Technology is required. This will be researched automatically. Does it cost money to research? I can't. Let's see if it does. Well, no, because I don't have enough money. No? It says 2,000 there. I'm trying to figure out what that 2,000 means. I haven't seen that yet. So if you all know, you can put that down in the comments too, and we'll discuss it. It'll be interesting. I do actually believe I want to come back in here and research this one that gives me a manipular barracks. So let's see what else is new. Let's go in here to the faction thing. So Proconsulate of Gallia. This must be the leaders of this region. Of course, we got Caesar, Cassius Longus, Brutus, Marcus Antoninus, which is Mark Antony, I believe. And very cool. Cool. Very neat. Let's see if I have enough money to do any of these buildings. Could build a Consecrated ground there. I don't know what to build, to be honest. This campaign's relatively new to me. It ought to be interesting. Oh, I wonder if there's different agents. And we got a spy, dignitary, champion. Okay, nope, all the same there. Okay, let's go ahead and end this turn. See what happens. Well, it says we have an unassigned skill with Caesar.
At your command.
So we will take care of that now. I'm gonna work on the strategist one. I'd like to get some night battles going on with the different barbarians. Looks like the Helvetii coming back for their homeland. They want a piece of Caesar, a little revenge. They have some mercenary short swords, some Celtic warriors. Looks like a noble cav there, maybe. Another noble cav, some more Celtic warriors. This ought to be fun. So let's take the battlefield here and defend the city that we just stole from them. Rightfully so. Be interesting. So supposedly the siege AI has been improved upon in this patch. So that's one of the things that we should be looking for here to see how it's performing. That'll be very interesting. But yes, supposedly the siege AI has been improved upon. Oh, check out this stormy weather. This is going to make for some interesting watching. I'm going to put my legionaries back from the wall a little bit. This is my Celtic garrison, and it's very little because I've just barely taken over the city. I'm going to defend the main area here with some Celtic skirmishers. And I'm actually wondering, I wonder if I can deploy these Celtic light cav in such a manner that I can sneak them out of the city unseen. I might take my Celtic light horse out over here and do some harassment.
Scrappers, ready!
Alright. I'm going to put Caesar here, and then right here behind the wall I'm going to put my artillery crews. And I'm going to put Caesar here with the artillery crew. I'm going to take these guys off fire at will. There won't be any flaming shot, unfortunately. Just going to make it harder for me to destroy their siege engines. Let's take a look at Caesar. He should be here in this general unit. Yeah, there he is. Check that out. Looking nice. So, very good. Very good indeed. I wonder if we can try and snap a shot there while it's lightning. I don't think I got it, though. Alright, so let's get back into things here. Looking very good. Take these guys off skirmish. I think they've improved the sound effects a little. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just hearing it for the first time here. I don't know. So here comes the enemy. We got Celtic warriors and some naked swords.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Let's bring these Celtic light horse out and do a little harassment. This ought to buy some time for my artillery to do its damage as well. And it's gotten a few hits here. Let's fire some more of these mercenary short swords. I'm gonna go feint some charges with my light horse to see if we can just slow down the approach of the Celts here. Getting some more good hits with their artillery. Let's put some poison round into the onager. I think it just fires like a dead cow.
Horseman! Light horse! Horseman!
Yep, there they go. Like a dead cow or something. Oh, gross. So these guys now have a detriment there. A combat penalty of some sort. I'm gonna run a quick frenzied charge on these light horse, see what kind of effect we can get. Show you all this. Oh, that was pretty good, actually. That was pretty nice. I'm gonna countercharge those Celtic light horse and see if I can go support them. I actually killed most of those swords, or a good number of them. Yeah, 22 of them. I don't know, though. I lost a bunch of my men, too. Maybe it wasn't the most effective trade, but I just figured it'd be fun. Try and disrupt the enemy, give my artillery some more time to keep shooting. I'm going to actually take these guys out of poison round here, because I think the other one will be more damaging. We've definitely disrupted the enemy assault. Oh, I'm getting countercharged by more light horse. There's a noble horse there. I'm going to have to watch out for those guys. Yeah, I think I've betrayed my Celtic light horse. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can retreat some of them. Well, never mind. I'm gonna get run down by that. That was stupid. Oh. Oh, look, there's some mercenary Celtic skirmishers back here. I guess I can always just recruit more light horse. I'm gonna get charged by that noble cav.
The men are wavering.
I'm gonna try and avoid the noble cav. They're catching my guys though. Looks like I got away from him just there, and I'm gonna try and take out that Celtic skirmisher.
The men are wavering.
Alright, well that was fun. Okay, they've got a ladder on the wall here, but they didn't climb it. So now they're gonna sit here and get nailed by my Celtic skirmishers, so I'm guessing that's a -1 for the CJI at the moment. Oh, well there's still breaks in the wall. Well, there's a -2 for the CJI for not immediately taking advantage of the breaks in the wall. And that looks like that's my alarm for the time on this episode, so we need to go ahead and win this real quick. And let's see what the rest of these Gallic troops are going to do. We've got a light horse and a noble horse, some Celtic youths, and a few other items coming. Let's see if the AI knows that there's a break in the wall. They're not really making for it right now. They could have easily just dropped their ladders at the beginning and gone for it. Not climbing the ladder, so I can't say that I'm overly impressed with the improvement to the CJI just as yet. Or at all, for that matter. Hate to say it, but yeah, that's not really doing any better. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Haven't started the entire fight yet. Let's get these guys over here. In fact, it looks like the CJI is just sitting on its duff right now, getting hammered on. So, none too impressed yet. Maybe they're trying to use their skirmishers? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what they're at, but I don't get it. They're definitely taking hits from my artillery here at fairly point-blank range. And it looks like they're going to come try and burn the gate. And the same over here, they're going to come try and burn the gate. I've dispatched some legionaries, though, to go defend this position.
The men are wavering.
I've got some skirmishers who are wavering. That's okay, though. Not a huge worry. But I can try and save them. I'll pull them back. Oh, too late. They routed. A lot of good it does you to be involved with there. So these guys trying to burn my gates. I'm worried my ballista might get hit because I'm so close to the walls. I'm going to actually back up. Look at that. My Celtic skirmishers routing out of the front gate. That's also quite odd. So obviously still a few pathfinding errors and other issues going on.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
AI seems determined to burn the gate even though there's clearly breaches in the wall and a ladder over here. So something that still needs to be improved upon is obviously the decision making. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure why I'm waiting on these guys to come in. I wonder what happened to their noble cav. I had damaged it with artillery and now I do not see it.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Yeah, AI is still trying to burn through the gates and not having a whole lot of success. They've got some noble horse here, backed up by some Celtic warriors. Well, at least it looks good, and the weather looks good. I'm going to take these Celtic warriors out and see if I can chase down these skirmishers over here. These guys ought to be a little bit faster than my legionnaires. I would take Caesar out, but I'm worried that that noble horse is still around here somewhere. Alright. I'll bring these guys out too. Be interesting to see if the AI runs its cav over here to help out. So these skirmishers are going to get charged by my Celtic warriors. And handled pretty easily. Yeah, definitely don't expect that these skirmishers are much of a match for my guys there. Okay, let's go into space and change our attack over here. I don't know if those guys are skirmishing or if they're shattered. We'll find out here in a second if they... I think they're shattered. Or no, now they're turning to fight. They must have just been trying to skirmish. I don't see any Celtic horse coming from anywhere either, so we must be good. I don't know where the Celtic horse went. Must be over here, where they're still attempting to burn the gate and not very well succeeding. Well, I think I'm going to just put these poor guys at it. Well, I say that, yeah. I think I'm going to just put these guys out of their misery and come over here and attack them. Alright, so I'm just going to move my guys outside of the walls here real quick. Let's hope those Celtic horse are over there, because if I leave this gap in the wall with no protection, my siege units will be in for it. Yeah, it looks like the AI has routed at this point, so not a real impressive showing by the siege AI, but impressive so far in the sense that the campaign looks good. I like the idea of it. Takes us into single-person story mode, or not into a character story mode, I should say. Definitely still need a little work on the siege AI. Dang it, I lost 2 of my light horse and 1 of my skirmishers. I'll have to re-recruit them. But in any case, hope you all enjoyed a little peek into the Caesar and Gaul campaign. I love the idea. Like the depth of it.
Do not ask it
Definitely
lightly,
like the look
but
of it in
gods
general.
favor it. An attack on these people would aid our cause.
The Contii, who are my client state, want me to join the war against the Rutini or whatever, so we'll do that. And of course my legion has leveled up, but this is where this episode ends, folks. Hope you all enjoyed the introduction. HeirofCarthage signing off for now. I will see you back in the near future.